So, yeah, great. So we talked about today, and we've talked a little bit about the future. But what is it that you would say with regards to, well, actually cybersecurity in the future? What do you think would be a new way of thinking, or a different approach, and what would you expect to see in the future too?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing emerge is a couple of areas where the tools in the industry are taking advantage of the technology available to them. I mean, the most obvious is turning security data into a big data problem. That's happened for years now, but now then moving that into an AI ML problem. Right. So, let's let the machine build a model and let's let it tell us when there's probably an issue. That's another. I think you're going to see a lot more focus on behavioral and not just behavioral externally, but behavioral internally as to what normal looks like in environment. Because again, we can take that data, we can understand data around how users are using infrastructure or using the tools they have available to them. Can we build a model, and can we look for abnormal behavior and key into those sorts of problems? I also think that what I've observed from running operations in large, highly secure organizations is there's never been, we talk about sort of recession, we talk about maybe economic downturn. There's never been a recession in IT ever. I've never experienced the ability to suddenly kind of easily get all the staff I need in order to cover all the work. There's always been more work than there's been people to do it. Mm-hmm. And that creates so many problems that we have in securing our environments, securing our infrastructure, and keeping them up to date. I mean, think about this classic case. We've all experienced this. There's a production issue. Things are down. The business needs the app back up. And so you make a change that in the moment is like, wow, this is not, I should not be making this change from a security perspective, but I have to make this change in order to get the app up and running.
Yeah.
And then you have to find a way to go back and fix that without breaking the business. And how many times does that get left? That change, that one we shouldn't have made, get left in place. My experience, it's like 99 and 100 times, because the business takes priority there. Right. And so
absolutely, with as you say, just completely under-resourced. I mean, it exactly the same scenario, and as well, a different scenario, but the same principle as what you just said is, people giving excessive privileges to make sure that people can gain access to things that they need, and you try and put them in the correct security groups and follow the correct kind of channels, and they're still screaming at you, I don't care what you're doing, I still can't get access. And then you're like, okay, well, I'll put you over there. Then there's another fire to put out. You never go back and change it, and then you've got excessive access somewhere, or an application that could be exploited. Yeah, completely relate to that.
Understanding that people are in that scenario every day means we have to build tools that help them in those scenarios. We can't just continue to try and shame them for doing that. There's a very real, legitimate reason that they're in those situations. The tools of the future have to have the experience, have to have the AI, the analytics to help them. One, find those and justify going back and fixing those, but two, help them prioritize the actual work that should float to the top. Because we're never going to fix every vulnerability. That is a realization I've come to in my career, is never going to have the budget or the staff to prevent absolutely everything that can go wrong. But I have to do a calculation to mitigate the most risk and protect the business as best as possible. What tools help me do that?